we go, superb. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. So we're really just getting ready. I don't know why I said that in such a weird way. Yeah, I'm just getting ready for the stream to be kicking off, so this should be pretty awesome. Goddamn Windows, I will find a way to end you. Right then. So how are you all doing then so far? I hope everybody is doing very well. I hope you've all had a great day or evening, whatever you are, whatever time it is really. I suppose that'd be a prerequisite. That's really nice of you. Yeah, we're just getting things ready. Oh, that's cool then. So there's actually video quality options. That's actually quite handy. I don't think there was beforehand, were there? Hello there, Darkman. How are you doing, my friend? That's a really nice emoticon. I really do like that. Okay, so there's only a few moments really, well, about 2 minutes until the stream really begins in proper. Really genuinely looking forward to it, so it should be pretty awesome. Just going to share the link on my other platforms. So, not looking at chat for the moment, hopefully I'm not missing anything too amazing. Ah, thank you there, Camstar. Right. So, I mean, things really did kick off in a nice, interesting way last time. I mean, we did manage to actually close the Malmedy pocket, which was really, really nice. Really good. Okay, 2 more minutes. Why is there never any Panzer Corps streams? I couldn't answer that one. Though Panzer Corps 2 is being worked on, it's not too far away from development, or at least release. I'm not entirely sure on that one. Like, I only represent myself in this one. I don't have any other knowledge in that case. If I did, I'd let you know. So we are just a moment away, really. So this is going to be great. Yes, it is a very good-looking Bulge. Rightio. I don't want to say too much until we begin the actual streaming proper. In just a few moments. The suspense is killing me. Hopefully audio levels are great. If you guys could let me know, that'd be awesome. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So we are here once again. It's that time of the week. Normally would be a Wednesday, but the last 2 times, well, last time including this time, has been a Friday. Mostly as we try to make plans work, so thank you everyone for coming. I really am glad to see you all here again. It's nice to see these familiar names, and it is awesome to find out the audio is good. That's great news. So, it's been a little while, hasn't it? Let's take a look at the situation and what has really developed and where we need to be. We do not have long. We are on turn 9. The scenario ends at turn 12. It's not long left. So let's take a look then, shall we? We'll start off with our favourite screen, probably our one that is going to make the most amount of fun for us. And that would be the losses. So if we take a look at the ground losses, the Axis has lost 91,795 soldiers. Now, do bear in mind, these are tiny numbers, absolutely tiny numbers compared to the war in the east. This is a different war to that behemoth in the east. But these numbers are very large in the west, in fairness, something that is usually not seen. So, 91,000, almost 92,000 Axis soldiers are removed from play. 57,841 killed. 83,981 captured. 241,185 disabled. These are big numbers. These are where the numbers start to really ramp up. They have lost 1,127 guns during this turn. They have lost 3,049 in total, and that has been since the start of the scenario. So in this one turn, we've inflicted round about just over a third of our losses, somewhere around a third of our losses in this one turn itself. They have lost 517 armoured fighter vehicles. Now what I do have to point out here is it's not just like any old armoured fighter vehicle. They have lost 147 Panther Gs. That's a huge amount. They've lost 99 Panzer IV Js. 30. 3 and a 0 King Tigers. That is a incredible amount. Just imagine how many King Tigers were actually produced during the actual war. Now just imagine that we've taken out 30 in total. We've only taken out 30 during the entire scenario. And they were taken this turn. These losses are catastrophic for the Germans in the centre. Those are some massive losses. I mean, you take a look at our losses here. I mean, they are bad, don't get me wrong. I mean, we've lost 197 M4 Shermans, 253 M1As, 56 M4A3s, 105s, 262 76, and then 87 Jumbos. I mean, we've lost a lot of Sherman. We've lost a few hundred tanks ourselves. But the thing is, we can replace these losses. The Axis cannot. They simply can't. They don't have that time. They don't have the resources as such. I mean, they still have the resources, but not many. Yeah, the M36, the gun carriage. 119, that is a lot of them, I'm not gonna lie. M18, 62. Hello there, Slack, how are you doing, my friend? Yes, so these have been some pretty impressive losses. Now we look at the war in the air. And in reality, it's not too bad, really. Have we taken out ME262s? We have taken out, well, we took out 7 this turn, which is actually quite formidable. 492 Tiger House B produced. But that's still a large... Well, I mean, it's not a large amount, is it really? It's a small amount. Pretty small amount. For what they would have been really needed. So let's take a look at the actual situation on the ground then. So we have entrapped, we have encircled the 3rd Panzergrenadier Division, as well as a detachment of the Volksgrenadier Division, the 62nd. We have here the 79th Volksgrenadiers, the 560th Volksgrenadiers, and another detachment of the 62nd Volksgrenadier Division. They are in rough shape. They are certainly not looking good right now. So, I mean, we take a look at this. Koblenz has fallen, Trier has fallen. What do they have to oppose us? They have a single Volksgrenadier Division, a detachment of the 711th. Over here we do not have information, but we can see there's a corps headquarters, a routed Volksgrenadier Division, and beyond that, really, what do they have? What do they have beyond that? I'm very much tempted to press them as hard as I can on different flanks, or really, I could hold myself back. Wait for them to redeploy their troops, as they surely will. And the thing is, they have a Panzer Division over here. But this is very vulnerable. I mean, sure, this armor division is more than likely going to be cut off. But if we have to sacrifice the 13th Armored Division, it may have to be done. It's no good, but the thing is, this would end the war earlier. If they had suffered such a catastrophic defeat in the centre, it would have led to an early defeat. It would have led to a completely different chain of events. And you take a look at this. There's only Landau and Mainz over here. They have Bonn to the north. I mean, I'm not entirely sure if we will achieve a actual victory. We might end up with a defeat in the end, due to the victory points. But we can all go home with our heads held high, as we have dealt a mortal blow to the Axis armies here. So, let's try to engineer the scenario where we do emerge as a victorious side, which is going to be rather interesting. We've not made much progress down here due to the fact that we haven't committed the Free French as hard as we really wanted to. We are up against difficult terrain, and these defenders are well dug in. They are motivated to protect the fatherland. So, let's take a look. We do have a good chance at breaking through here, so we will try. Right, and you can see why we would have difficulties using these Free French forces. Even with overwhelming numbers, we still suffer defeat. Okay, so we do succeed in that circumstance. So I can move forward our armoured over here, the 2nd Free French Armoured Division. Now, we do have these forces that should be able to follow up soon. Yep, they can follow up. Okay. So we do have a detachment of motorized. And when I say motorized, I say it kind of lightly. I mean, of course they will have trucks, but they don't have much else. So let's see, do we have anything that we can use to beef them up? Right, we do have Algerian reconnaissance. So we have M8 Greyhounds. Okay. It's added a little bit more beef to the actual unit here, so at least that's something. Okay. Right. Now, we do have we have 3 objectives down here. I really would like to take these, I really would. I need to try and force the Axis back in this location. So we will launch attacks that aren't going to be great for us, but I do need to weaken them as much as possible. Really do. This armor needs to be moved. Issue is fuel. I am half tempted to move to Belfort, when I will create a depot actually. So we will move the armor to Belfort. We will have it hopefully build up that fuel level to allow us to really use them. Okay, this division. I want to punch through here. This is where we will punch through. There's another objective I would like to achieve here, so we will go for that. And they rout. That is actually a really nice result there. Okay, we could push through here, which I will. Okay, so we're up against actual Luftwaffe command here. Okay, but the important thing is we actually do have a spearhead here. Notice that is a whole... Wow, these guys are actually dug in pretty hard. Right, that's not what I was hoping to see, to be honest. I mean, if we take a look at the actual fortifications here, you can see generally how the lines have advanced and changed. I will move up the 6th US Army Command to Nancy. We do have our commands over here, the 7th US Army and the 3rd US Army. You're attached directly to that army, so we will move you to that core headquarters, which will make your life a lot easier. Okay. Now, what we do have to take a look at as well is our rail situation. Okay, so let's take a look here. You can see that red indicates that we do not have access to these rail lines. We do have rail repair over here. Well, I can't move them now due to the amount of units there, so what we will do then is we'll repair these rail lines. Or just the rail line. And I will move you over here then, as that is the only option that we have available. To the north, we do have a few more options. This one can move south. It's going to be very much needed to resupply this army, as they have really been committed to a lot of action right now. Okay. Ooh, almost ideal situation there. Okay, then here. You've moved as much as you can. These units... Okay, we need to move you away from the swamps. Okay. Reinforce your headquarters. Right, we do have you to the north. The thing is, I'd love to repair this rail line, but I don't actually have access to it. So what I'll do then is, I could potentially... Let's actually take a look at these rail lines then. So there's a heavy load over here then. Okay. We could do with repairing this. Okay, that would be the British. Okay. I feel like we could do with you down here. This is where an advance is going to come from. So we need to follow that up with our victorious forces. Not all of them, so that was actually quite the boo-boo. That was something of a mistake there. Didn't actually mean to move the armored as well. That was my bad. Well, boo-boo. Okay. We'll move a detachment over here then. Right, that should be okay. It's not great. Hello there, Kandra. How you doing, my dude? Okay, take you off the train. Right, we need to make something happen over here in the north. See, the situation we're in here then is... we need something like this. We need to we need to trap these German forces here. I could defeat this unit, but that's really not going to get me anywhere. I really don't want to be fighting these guys. These guys are too far entrenched for it to be worthwhile. I do want to get to this area. That is what I do want to get to, Essen. But what we have to do is we have to draw attention to this area rather than this area. This is the priority for the Axis forces. But we need to make sure that they realize that they are threatened elsewhere, and that they do not send all of their troops to the actual real danger zone. So, we need to launch something in the north, and that is what we need to do. We are going to take losses from this. We are going to take heavier losses than I would very much like. But there is nothing else for it. We must do this. So we need to marshal what we have and make the most of it. Okay. Alright, let's see what we can throw at this force here. I feel we should do this so that at least then we can actually gain some room to maneuver. Bloody hell, they hold. And they hold again. Right, okay, so that plan is a little bit easier than said, isn't it? Okay. We do have forces over here, so we will send them to reinforce. Okay. I do feel like we need the armor down here. This seems to be the actual point where we can break through. Where we already have a breakthrough. So I think that is going to be where it's needed. Ah, thank you for following there, Sanderson. That was really, really good of you. I almost said my own channel, but then that would have been wrong. Okay, let's get these guys to the front. Let's get the Reborn 101st to the front lines. Right, our other paratroopers are over here. Let's move them. Okay, I would like to target them actually, so we'll do that. Okay, so we do have airborne landings planned over here. We do need to make sure these actually happen. I would like a landing over here just to sever that rail connection. That'd be really quite fortunate for us. Now, we do potentially have the option to drop. We may have that option. So we'll have to find out, really. Let's take a quick look. Yes, we could drop. And you know what? I'm very, very tempted to drop indeed. The thing is, we don't have that much time left. And if we drop, it is going to be another issue for the German forces. So yes, we will drop. We will be dropping at 1115. Let's take a look at first where we're dropping. 1115, 191. 192. Right, 115. 193. 116. Right, you can drop. You can certainly drop. Bollocks, we don't have the transport aircraft available. If you move here, can you drop? Yes, we need you to drop. We need you to get there. Just throw everything. It's not going to be great, don't get me wrong. It's not going to be great. Okay, but the fact is, we've severed the rail connection here. So yes, they are going to be relying on this connection too. But the thing is, we do have 2 airborne divisions to the north. We have the 1st British Airborne Division and then the 6th British Airborne Division to the north. We have some US forces to the south here, they obviously are dealing with the armoured, they are dealing with the infantry. This is going to be worthwhile. We do have the 82nd over here, they did drop some time ago. This is going to really make their day worse. They're going to have to respond to this, so that means that they're going to have to throw force that should be thrown elsewhere at those troops. So that is our silver lining. Even if they are defeated, that is our silver lining. Okay. I still can't handle that. We'd have to commit something meaningful to do so. We do have our forces over here, the 13th US, so we are going to move them across the channel too. And bring them into the fray. We'll move them to the Rouge. That'll be quite good. You're not actually at a... You're at Bournemouth. Oh, do you not have any capacity? Okay, we'll move to Southampton. Ah, that's Bournemouth. Okay, move to Bruges. We can't take them off the ships at the moment, but they will be coming off soon. Okay, they need to stay. 115191. So you would drop that. In fairness, I think I might try that. If we can do it, we will. Because we should be able to defeat that unit. And that would link up all of our paratroopers. Yes, they are forced to retreat, and we do land. Okay, now this is looking good. Let's take a look at that battle then, shall we? Yeah, just look at that. They lost almost their entire strength. We lost 17 men, they lost almost all their entire strength. I think that's a good job, actually. So the 340th Foot Grenadier Division is just... It's just nothing left. Really nothing left. But we do have a link up over here, so at least we do have the airborne behind enemy lines. Well, more or less behind enemy lines. And they are there in strength, so at least we have an option. We may yet be able to do this. I'm half tempted to... Well, if I could have, I would have tried to attack that force there, but I don't. We might throw an attack out here, just see what... Yes, and we do have some luck. That's really good. I was not expecting that, so that's a very good result there. Okay. They don't have much to throw back at me. They really don't. Okay. Let's move here. Right, yo. So, let's take a look at the plan overall then, shall we? We have these forces encircled here. These forces, which I'll highlight, are in a terribly dire situation. They have enemies behind them, they have enemies in front of them, they have enemies to the south. And they're going to suffer. Yeah, there's a lot of counters on the map. You should see one of the east when you have like the entirety of the German armies, the entire German military practically on there, as well as the Red Army is really awesome. Okay. XTRG, is there any issues with the amount of depots you put down? I'm not seeing supply being a huge issue with the scenario. Right, okay, so what I'm going to say here is, yes, there are going to be issues with supply. Like, you take a look at all these. So the lines here, the bars represent the amount of supply. So let's take a look at Antwerp. We take a look at Antwerp, we see that we have a lot of resources. Well, we have a lot of supply here. Now, if we take a look at, let's say, Amiens, Mainz, you see we do have supply and we do have fuel. Not a huge amount. Yeah, I mean, you can see here basically that there's not a huge amount in all these depots, but I am happy that they are there, mostly because I need my airfields to draw on them. Can we actually see where this base is drawing its supply from? Supply details. You are drawing it from the actual depot here. So that's something that we do have to bear in mind, is they're not having to use a lot of trucks. I mean, you see here, vehicles 122, required 119. So they actually have all the vehicles they require. They don't need any more. They're self-sufficient. They're absolutely good to go. You see, they have 122 vehicles, they only need 119. So they have 2 spare. So we compare that to, let's say, example being the 10th US Armored Division. Now, these guys, they have, let's see, 1,242 trucks. They require 1,165 trucks. their supplies are coming from the base over here, which is only 4 MP, but it's, well, sorry, the range is 4, but the MP is 59. You can see that is having an impact. Whilst we go back to, let's just say, this airfield. Yeah, range MP, well, range 0, MP 1. It's not going to cost them anything. It's really efficient. So it is causing some issues in the fact that supplies getting spread out, but at the end of the day, that means more vehicles are available. And they're not drawing a huge amount of supply. They won't really draw a huge amount. So that's something to bear in mind. Okay, so I think the only thing for it is to advance in the next turn. We'll see what the results of our movements are. Hopefully we will see good results. My ideal situation is going to be where the Axis... well, they're going to struggle. I mean, you take a look at this. They have British forces as well as American forces to the north that are practically... Yes, okay. So they go ahead and they attack the US airborne. But notice the fact that these forces were only routed, which is good, you know what I mean? That is fine. I can work with that. I can make that work for us. You see the situation, they don't appear to have broken out over here, which is actually rather interesting. Koblenz remains in our control, Trier remains under our control, and yes, that pocket is now an actual pocket. And you take a look at this, the weather has turned. It's now going to be bloody muddy, but we can make do with that. We can make do with that, but we aren't going to be suffering as much with the snow. Okay. Right, let's see how things have evolved. So, let's take a look here. Ground losses 252 for the Axis. I mean, we have taken quite a few losses here. I think it's probably, well, the fact that our airborne were kicked out. But you take a look at this. This is a different situation to what we're used to. And that is because this scenario is coming to a close. We're not far from the end here, ladies and gentlemen. I do have to point that out, and I'm going to have to sort of slow things down a great degree. But we have a lot to be on with. But you can see here we have heavy mud over Britain, obviously part of France, the Benelux region, and most of Germany and the Czech Republic. Well, Czechoslovakia, Scandinavia too. The weather in the air is quite poor right now. We have a heavy band of rain. If we take a look at the following week, it will change considerably, but the weather, well, the ground will definitely be staying the same. We have a lot of issues now. The weather is really going to impact on this. Our movement isn't going to be as easy. So, in all honesty, we still might yet see an actual defeat in the scenario due to the fact I should have had my objective sooner. But I think we'll be okay. I think we'll see a different result here. Ideally one that is a decisive one. Okay. But the good news is that we do have these forces here that can be destroyed quite easily. These forces are looking weaker. Okay. Does that look like Colmar? Yes, we can take Colmar. Superb. Right, we take Colmar. We try to break through here. We can try to take Freiburg. That should ideally be 2 objectives. We can definitely take 1. So, I mean, we can do that right now. Let's see. I mean, obviously this is the air phase, so I can't do that right now. That was silly of me. Okay, so let's figure out where we're dealing with the Luftwaffe. So the Luftwaffe is in a small amount of strength. Just over, I don't know, just shy, maybe 200 planes, around about 200 planes. Weather issues, good news that this is not the Eastern Front. Yeah, that's a really good point. That's a really, really good point. Over here we do have a decent amount of strength from the Luftwaffe, not a huge amount. But that's not too bad, I can handle that. I mean, we are still looking for their main strength, which is over here in the north, really. Mostly over here, which is a good reason for them to be over there, would be the fact that we are running air superiority in this area here. I mean, we do have a lot of our planes concentrated like this. It's been rather remarkable. So let's take a look then. What do we have on the ground opposing us? So we notice the fact that we are seeing the 6th SS Mountain Division. Yet again, I thought we scared these guys away, but that's fine. We do have the 17th SS Panzergrenadier Division. I feel like I saw these guys in the north. It seems they are weaker on the ground over here, overall here, which is looking decent. I could potentially break through here, actually. We might have that option. The heavy mud isn't going to help us. And the thing is, we are stuck with the mud, so... Yeah, we're legitimately stuck in the mud, so that's an issue. I think what we have going for us is the fact that these airborne divisions actually managed to stay intact. They are bloody tough, and they are here now, so they are bloody tough. Opposing them, we have the 15th Panzergrenadier Division. To the south, let's take a look. Let's draw this out, shall we? So, we have, we'll draw the shape of the line, and then at least it's easily seen, and people can have a good idea of what's going on. Okay. Okay. Join that up over there. So, what we need to do... Strange, isn't it? I've drawn it behind them. That's rather odd. Anyway, we'll... it kind of works. We'll draw it as a blue then for where we need to break through. What we need to do is... I mean, the difficulty is... Let's use green here. So... We have heavy woods over here. These are heavy woods. There's woods over here, but not as dense. But the heavy woods are difficult. It's going to make an advance over here difficult. I mean, these are probably swamps. The thing is, we do have clear and flat terrain, more or less flat terrain, beyond these woods. The difficulty is we're going to be pushing through the heavy mud and through dense forest into this sort of terrain where the enemy is well entrenched. It's not easy. It really is not. So what we need to figure out then is where the enemy is weakest and where we have the most chance of actually beating through them. So you take a look at this. They do have level 3 fortifications. Over here they have nothing. Absolutely nothing. They have level 1 fortifications here, level 0 here. So if anything, this is the area where we break through. And in all honesty, that's probably not a bad thing, considering that Mans is just beyond those forces. It's not to say that we can't... Well, not to say that we actually do break through. I'm just saying that we have a good chance here. We have our first objective over here at Mans. Assuming I'm saying that right. We do have an objective over here at Landau. I would like to secure Landau, and we do have potential to do it. But it's a little bit difficult. The fact is that we've actually held on to a couple ends, so which is quite handy. That's really good for me. The Axis are going to be in a rough situation over here, let's be honest. So if we take a look, try to figure this out. So we have supplies. So they're decent on supplies. The issue is that we've been pushing them back towards their own supply lines, which makes things rough. Really does make things quite rough. Ideally we break them, but it's going to be difficult. I do wish I had more time. I think we've achieved a good amount so far. Let's see. So totals. It's the cities that they've held onto that's made things rough. Well, I mean, the totals there, enemy men lost, guns lost. The FVs are worth a lot. I mean, they gained a lot for destroying all those armored fire vehicles. They've gained a lot from those aircraft. That's probably where they've gained a good amount. The cities is really about holding them off, well, holding them above us. So we have to try and pull something out of the bag. But I'm going to call it, I don't think we'll have a decisive victory on the grounds of victory points. But I think we all know that we've had a good run. So we'll start with the defeatist talk, and we'll get things really moving. We'll get ourselves into action then, yes. Now comes the next question. Where do we focus our main efforts in the air? It is a really good question. Right now, we do have reconnaissance being run over this area, which we know about these forces entrenched here. Well, we know about these forces encircled here. We need information potentially, well, definitely in this area. I'm half considering moving some reconnaissance down here. I think we might move reconnaissance down here potentially to... Or do we? I don't think there's much on the ground here. I think we do have a significant amount of armor in this area here. Which I do need to inspect. We do have 107% fuel, 129, 108. Okay, fuel's looking good to go, actually. I reckon these units can actually move quite well in the mud. Well, I mean, they can move. They're not going to be able to move as far as they normally would do on good weather or on snow. Well, frozen ground. But we'll try to do our absolute best then, shan't we? It's going to be difficult. It really is. Okay. So we do have the majority of the Luftwaffe strength over here in the north, and the thing is, I don't know if I want to deal with that as such. So let's see, what do we have available to us? We have 337 P-47s that are running air superiority. Okay. I might even expand the area of supremacy to encompass more of the front here. Spread it out, as you would. Possibly to cover more of this area. Okay. Now, do I have the ability to establish air supremacy over their bases? That's the question. That is a really good question. Okay. I'd like to think so, but I'm not entirely sure. We might have a good shot at it. I'm not going to pretend that we might not. Yes, Germany already has the Me-262s. They're already in use. We've already shot down a few, and I imagine a lot of our planes have probably been shot down by them in turn. Okay, do we focus our efforts here then? Do we focus with the air supremacy? I think what we might want to do is try to subdue the Luftwaffe. So I think what we will do is actually try to make that our main objective. So I will concentrate on these airfields over here. This is where their main strength is. So what we're going to do then is we're going to reduce that radius down to about 2. If we take a look over here then, we have a good few hundred planes in this area. A good few hundred. So what we may do then is see what we can make of this. We might try to hit those airfields. We do have a ground attack mission set up here, which we need to end, of course. Now that does give us some options. Do I use ground attack against these guys over here? They will break, and I think the tactical bombers and just using them probably wouldn't be the best idea. I think they could be put to greater use elsewhere. Don't you guys agree? So we have a good number of planes available to us now, so let's try to figure out the best way to use them. We do have the option for ground support. That's always an option that we could use, and it might be the one that would allow us to make a good amount of headway. So I think we will go with ground support. So we'll have the 9th US. And I will support, let's see. So this is the 3rd US Army. I think we'll support the 3rd US Army. Okay. Right. Flying all weather. That's a lot of planes. A hell of a lot of planes. The thing is, I could run missions against the airfields to the north, which there's a lot to be said for that. I do feel that we need to advance ourselves on the ground first of all. General Patton will be happy. I'd imagine so. I'd imagine he would be happy. Okay, so we'll assign all these available air groups. I mean, that's a fair amount of force there. They are going to fly in all weathers. Right, let's take a look at this air doctrine. Okay, ground attack, ground support, 15,000 feet. Minimum weathers per, okay. No target priorities, they'll basically go for it. Okay, let's go here, ground unit high, okay. Okay, that's fine by me. So we've assigned all those planes, so let's go over here to, let's say, the 14th. Air support, you can see they have access to all of that. Actually, we need to assign some support units here. Engineers. Eyes and ears. Okay. I think the armored is going to have to move on. The infantry will have to deal with this, and I think it might even be up to the up to these forces over here. To be fair, the first US Army to deal with this pocket potentially if they can. If not, they will have to keep on crashing on forwards. Reconnaissance. This one's a trickier option. Now let's see. I would like reconnaissance over this area. I want to know what I'm dealing with. However, I'm going to move the hex a little bit further back so we cover this area. Okay. Now reconnaissance over here is a bit trickier. We know what we're dealing with over at Cologne, but this is the area I need to see. And yes, okay. So we're going to go over this area. We're not going to base from Koblenz though, because that would be a little bit extreme. I need a good base though. Right, there's not many high-level bases here. Let's see. I'd rather base stage from this high-level airfield. Right, area is going to be 2, and you'll cover this area. Okay. Need to actually assign some planes here. Actually. Right, I need to see this area. Why are they not available? Is it because of the base we're staging from? Tracker plans. Right, nothing available right now. Okay. Nothing further could be sent here either. Okay. Right, not enough ready to fly. Okay, now we have more options. So we'll assign everything to this and then we'll enlarge the group. It's a hell of a lot of escorts. Mostly Spitfires and Tempests. So that's fine then. So what we'll do then is we'll enlarge this. So make this area free. Well, I mean, this is the RAF. So of course it'd be rather useful to have the other guys as well. But what we will do then is we'll have them do the reconnaissance down here. Okay. Right, and I need to of course cover this area. What we're doing here? Okay. I just want information over this area. Do I have anything left to send? No. Okay, we'll leave that as it is then. Confirm directive. Well, we'll just cancel that directive there. Okay. So we are going to be running superiority over here. Do I have anything else I could potentially send? Right, it looks like we've assigned our planes all elsewhere. In fairness, let's see. I'll settle for that then. We'll settle for the reconnaissance and have them well escorted as well as the ground support. I will settle for that. Okay. That's me happy with that. I suppose we need to just make sure this works. I mean, we can try to suppress the Luftwaffe, but we're never going to have full success. Not at the time that we need it. Okay, so 12 aircraft lost. That's not too bad, Ben. So the results were actually okay. That's good. Let's see what we have available before us then. So we have to barge our way through. We do have some turns remaining to us, which is fantastic. You can see here that these units could be broken down, which is good news. I'm going to turn the weather graphics off just for the moment. I love how it looks in the beautiful weather here. It looks so nice. I mean, you can see the difference. But I like this. I mean, we still have snowfall over here to the south. Yeah, snow. Then mud. Lots and lots of water. But I like the difference. I like really how it looks. So let's see what we can do here. I think we're going to use the infantry. We will move up the first and see how far they can go. Okay, their combat ability is not exactly great in the mode. Okay. Rest of your division is here, so we'll form them up into a full division. May not have been the actual best idea, but at least we'll be able to get more force in here. Okay. Move forward. Right, not many could actually combine to attack. So we'd have to support that further. Right, let's see what we have here. I don't want to use the armor for that. And this is the issue. Do we just ignore them and continue past them? That might be the best shot. The mud is really making things very, very difficult. I'm not even pretending about this. This is a difficult situation. I think what we need to do then is we need to focus on this and then deal with that pocket afterwards. So we'll do that then. We'll do just that. Movement's good, we just need to punch through and make it possible for that movement to happen. Let's see. That objective is very difficult to take. I don't know if I could actually take that. If anything, it will be here where the movement happens. Okay. So we could go for a full attack. We wouldn't quite have enough force there, so let's see what we could bring up to make sure we can break through. I could move a division, but I'd probably, yeah, I'd rather move it here. So we will move those divisions up to the front. Okay. Right, use only the infantry, so we'd have 5 in total. That may be enough, but I'd rather send something extra just to make sure. Remove the armor. Okay. I need this division out of the way. It does retreat, but it doesn't quite fall back how I'd wanted it to. If it had fallen back over there, that would have made things significantly different. We do have an ability to move those. That's good. That's really good. Okay. Let's see what we can do over here then, shall we? Right, can't even launch a hasty. With the armor I could break them, but I don't want to. Well, I do, I really do, I just can't right now. Okay, we need to focus on the front. We have a lot of forces, it's just how to best use them. It's difficult due to the issue of the terrain here. Okay. Congratulations on your win there. Right, so we've captured Colmar. So at least that is another objective that we're now holding, that we are now in possession of. That's a good thing. It isn't going to make us win, not right now, but it's decent, and I'm happy that we do have that. Okay. The thing is, they've left their troops definitely exposed over here, so I reckon we could probably take them. It might be just worthwhile throwing our forces here. I mean, these guys don't have that much maneuverability, so that's fine, I can accept that. These guys do. They really do. God, you know what? This indecision is really killing me. I don't know. What are your guys' opinions? Do we seal this pocket, destroy that pocket? We don't have a definite that we could even do that. Or do we try to just push up here first? We just need to figure this one out. What I want to do is I want to break through here. This is where I want to break through. This division was pushed back, so it's going to be much weakened. They're out of position as well, so they have no fortification. This position, I do have about 6 CV over here. So let's see. So that is 6 combat value. So we have 6 so far. Now I could add an additional 4 to take us to 10 CV. but that is using an armor division, and that's not going to be able to move very far. This most powerful division is probably able to handle it. So the thing is, do we use one division that's more powerful than this? I mean, it's a difficult question. I think what we're going to do then is, I think we commit this division here to support the airborne forces. If we break them here, we could then use these other armor divisions and potentially even infantry to break this division, which would then leave us open to advance onto mains and secure the objective over here. Other than that, there's no other objectives that particularly matter. They're supported by a Panzer Grenadier division to the north, so we do need to take the city. If I can do anything, it will be to take the city. Frankfurt lies beyond it, but it's not an actual victory objective, but it would be nice to hold on to. The thing is, if we do capture mines, however the hell you say it, we sever that rail network. That rail network is going to be severed. It's going to be very much impaired. Not severed as such, but it depends really what we do. I think we're going to push here. I think that's what we need to do. Difficult question, but you know what? I really do like it when this happens, when you do have to make these choices. Okay, so we will attack here. I'm going to move your core up over here to make sure you are fully supported in this. Make sure you have assigned support as well. These forces too. Okay, engineers. And throw some AA in there. Just try and stiffen them up as much as possible. Engineers. And AA. Yeah, that's added a little bit more punch to them. Right, we do have them as well, but they're not really in a great position. So let's hope for the absolute best here when we push through. I really do need them to pull through on this. I'm even tempted to send another force, I really am. I think I might even send this cavalry group. It's an extra 1 CV, but it might make all the difference here. Actually, have you assigned to this corps? This corps is actually over encumbered, so let's have some forces redesignated to different commands. Okay. There we go. That does take a lot of strain off of this command. There we go. At least now you will be supported. Let's see. Can I put anything extra into this headquarters to make sure that you do have enough support? Let's get some 155s in there. 8-inch guns, 155s. Let's throw a lot of artillery into this actual formation. This headquarters, I should say. Ideally, it will be able to genuinely help us out. Let's get these 155s. And that is a lot of artillery we're building up here. Right, we do have the 240mm, which I'm going to throw into this. I need to break through. Really do. Engineers are always good. Okay. Hello there, new Hauser. How are you doing, my friends? We will throw in the chemical mortar. There we go. So you take a look at this. That is a massive, massive improvement. Right. Okay. Let's take a look at the chemical mortars. These 4.2-inch mortars. These are basically heavy mortars. Okay. So we've thrown what else we can in here. Let's try and make sure it is in fact enough. I think it will be enough, but we'll hope for the best. You know what, that was close. I was actually down to the wire close. But luckily we did break through. The airborne are spent, however. They are spent. We do have an option to drop more airborne. We could even drop it on these forces over here, which is even a possibility. I might even drop it on the headquarters here. And that was 117. These forces? Let's see, can I drop them? I can. I can actually drop them, so we will drop them. Right, drop, drop, drop. Okay, we've dropped on top of them. Okay, the 101st is once again in a dire position, but the fact is that severed that rail network, at least in that area. So hopefully that will suit us. So we'll try and make this work. We really, really need to break through, and it is going to cost us. We are throwing men's lives away here. We do need to remember that. Dear. I need to break them. I wish I could go for a hasty attack. Really do. Okay. Fall back to that position. At least that helps to secure ourselves. Okay, these forces can't move up as far, so what I might do then is actually use them to help secure this pocket. Show off. Okay. Right, secure that position. Okay, we'll throw what we have available. And pray that it's in fact enough. So we have 5. It's not enough. Really is not enough. I don't know. We might have a shot. I really, really do doubt it. So I will move extra forces here if I can. Let's see what we can manage. Okay, I suspect that they don't break. They should be heavily weakened. Yeah, the issue is I do really want to ignore the pocket. I really do. The thing is, if I break it, I do have that ability to move up in the following turns. The issue I'm worried about is that it is going to block my movement. I just need to break them. Really need to break them. Yeah, they're in a forest, and it's hell. Really is hell. The thing is, I can't ignore them. I really do, but I can't. Okay. Right, I'll do something better then. Something smarter. We'll use the infantry to cover our armoured, and then we'll move past them. We've tried to break them, but we don't have that ability, it seems. I could move up there and trap them, which I will do. So at least that is cut off. Yes, you can be strong XTRG. Okay, we need to break through. How do we do that best? Good question. Over here would be a good idea. Okay, we'll move this force then. Headquarters. So we have the 553rd as well as the 361st. It's the 361st which I imagine is worthless, but let's see. Side support units. Stiffen them up, really. Okay, you could move forward to offer your support. There you go. Let's assign some support units over here, really, just to add more oomph. Okay, you can only have the one, that's fine. Right, we'll try this. No success. I was really hoping that we would have success. That's really rough. Really not the result I wanted there. Okay. Ah, thank you, Soto. Okay, what we have, we must throw. Are you kidding me? God damn them. They're not even entrenched. That's the issue here. I'm throwing these hasty attacks at the Jones because I do need to break through. Desperately. Okay. Alright, secure our position. Assign them to the closest headquarters. This is a really bad situation. Really bad. I'm not going to lie here. I really wish we had more options than this, but the mud has really thrown a spanner in the works. I'm not going to beat around the bush on that one. It has made what was hard already significantly harder. Absolutely stopping us dead at the moment. So we need to try and break through where we can. That's the thing. Right, that is worth something. That's going to allow me to get, well, have a better shot against them over here. Small gains play out in the end. Okay, move here. Right, depleted. See what we can throw against them. Obviously we don't achieve anything, but we've weakened them. They should fall in the following turn then. Not now. Not now as I would like, but they will fall. Okay, the armor needs to hold on. Right, what I'm doing here is I'm moving on my my core. The reason being, if I move up the strength, at least I'll have it available for the next turn. Which is when I need it. I'm half tempted to commit the core over here to the north. So that at least we'll have extra forces. I could at least then consolidate the British a little bit further. That'd be good. So that is an option that we need to look at. Okay. Now we have the city of Bonn over here, which is the one that we need to break. I mean, this is a linchpin of their line here. So I think what we need to do is take a look at the situation here. So we hold Koblenz. That one is for certain. I don't know how long we could hold on to Koblenz, but we have it for now. So what we could try to do then is position our forces to the north upon the other side of the line. Try to force it closed. If we could trap those forces there, that'd be great. The difficulty is I probably should have been able to break that easier, but we'll see. Okay, let's break them while we can. Okay. However small, a victory is a victory nonetheless. I have almost too many forces in this area now. I need to break them here at Born. But that's so difficult to do. So very difficult to do. So we'll head to the north then. Okay. Right, let's see. 411, 511, 911. There we go, move them together. Okay. Right, we'll move this armor here then just to help hold that line. Move up onto the depot. Let's see. Can I create a depot at Bitburg? I will create a depot here. Ideally hold those supplies. Okay. Move you up to Aachen. Let's see what we can manage here. They do hold the line. Yeah, they definitely hold it a second time. Right, I need to break them. Actually, whoa. There's actually a lot more success than I was actually imagining, really. That's really nice to see. That does lead me to believe that we might be able to break them here, actually. And we do. Oh my god, okay. Okay, wow. That opens up a lot. Move the Canadian. Right, scouted only, but still, this is actually quite an important victory. That actually is a massive victory. That allows me to move these forces up. That allows me to build a heck of a lot more pressure. So right now, they're in an interesting position. Let's see. See if we can try to add more to this pressure. We need to really bring the heat up on them. Let's see. Try to weaken them wherever we can. That's a good idea. Right, take you off the ship. Right. dangerous, but we do need to be dangerous, to be honest. We really do. Okay, let's take a look at our rail. Try and make the most of it, so build that. There we go. Shame that none of them can retreat, actually. Or at least pull back, otherwise I could have got that rail line converted, which is actually quite a boo-boo. Let's see. I need to break through to Freiburg. Right, 115193. So let's take a look at that then. We have the 7th Army over there. It's a shame, I should have probably dropped the paratroopers and then attacked the armor, and we might have actually had a better shot, potentially. We'll see. I think the situation will be better than X10. It's difficult right now. I don't know, let's see. Do we do a night drop? Let's see, can I set a new target? I need to get behind them. I need to get a man's. We might try. It's like, we might be able to. I doubt it, but we might. Or do we try to drop at Frankfurt? We'll change locations then to just outside of Frankfurt. So, potentially here. That might catch them unaware. Right, you can't drop. Okay. New armor divisions have arrived. Let's get them into the action, shall we? So, like, where to move them, but we can definitely move them down here. Now, the second one's over here then. Okay. Assign you to a command. Can I take you off the train? I cannot. What are you equipped with? I'm not seeing any heavy tanks as of yet. Do we actually gain the heavy tanks in this scenario? Let's find out. Oh, do we actually have some? Ah. Yes, we do. Awesome. That's really cool. 90mm gun. That's, yeah, a proper, true, heavy tank. Really cool to see. Okay. Right, so not the greatest ground phase here. We have achieved something, but not as much as I was hoping for, you know. Need to build up, that's the issue. Right, you're definitely overburdened. Let's have you reassigned. Okay. These forces definitely need to be moved up. Right, we can take them off the tracks next turn. But at least we have them in that position. So let's have these guys reassign them to a closer command. Okay. Should probably reevaluate the situation, but we'll see what happens. And we do have these forces cut off. These forces are looking dangerous. They may have to get pulled back. We'll see what happens. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to quickly draw out the shape of the front line, and I want to see how it changes, just to see really what we're working with. So let's do that. Okay, so what we will do then is we'll end the turn, and I want to see the shape of this line. I want to see how it changes, if it does indeed change at all. And bear in mind, we are now on turn 11, so we're getting very, very close to the end here. And I'm really happy about that. I think the last session, depending on how we go on for time, might try to get some questions in there and try and get a good discussion. See what we can do, really. 101st retreat. Okay. Right, movement. So we just have to move to the north. Oh, right, okay, right, okay. Looks like we've had a change of ground conditions here. We might yet have a chance. If this is actually frozen ground, that might be the way forward. We'll have to see there. I'm really hoping that ground is frozen. If that ground's frozen, that's going to make a massive difference. Okay, let's move this back over here then. So, let's see. That was roughly... Okay, so that was roughly the shape beforehand. Seems the Axis haven't really done anything. They've definitely pulled back from over here, though. So in all honesty, that's actually really, really good. I'm very, very happy about that. I mean, sure, don't get me wrong, they've redeployed troops elsewhere, but that's weak. That's so weak. I could break through to potentially bands with that. And let's see, what do we have facing us? We have plenty of forces, but what do we really? The 116th, the 11th Panzer Division, 106th Panzer Brigade, 40 Jaegers, and the Bulge Grenadiers cut northwest out of Koblenz. Yeah, well, this is it, really. I could cut them like butter here. I really could. I could actually break these positions. In fairness, let's take a look then. So let's go with the trusty yellow. Okay, so... we could definitely break this. Let's see. They could be broken. They could be broken. They most certainly can be broken. If we actually break all of these three divisions, we could try to then push on through here and have a breakout. Logistics is this, it's a difficult one, to be honest. We are building up our rails behind us. We really are. We do have a lot of supplies behind us. It's just really getting them to the front. That's the difficulty. We are lucky in the fact that we are able to capture supplies. Only a small amount, don't get me wrong. But we are still capturing supplies, which makes a big difference. Like in Koblenz, we have some supplies, which does make a nice difference. At least that's something that we can draw on. I mean, yes, this is absolutely beautiful. You take a look at this. This is, so we have snow on the ground. Okay. Right, that's honestly perfect. I mean, we have that light snow, which has actually made all the difference in the world now. That change in the weather has really turned things. It means that we have all of this combat potential built up here. Really, really built up. Our divisions are actually significantly more capable now. You take a look at this. This is significant. Absolutely significant. This is a major, major difference here. I didn't quite notice the combat value change there straight away, but that's massive. And of course the Germans are able to put up a better fight too, but don't get me wrong, I can break them. I can actually break them. Like, here, I could break them. This is difficult, don't get me wrong. I wish this wasn't as difficult. I wish this wasn't difficult, but I could break them here. I could most certainly do that. I could do it here. And we might even be able to capture Dusseldorf. Which is actually a really big deal. Most definitely. You take a look at all this industry here. Colossal amounts. We have taken quite a lot from the Germans. I mean, what we have to remember is we were fighting them all the way over here. We've pushed them back so far. We pushed them well and truly into Germany. And they are most certainly on the defensive here. Most certainly. They're on the back foot. And they are not happy with that position. Reconnaissance isn't great. Yeah. You take a look at all of that there. Let's see, they have a lot of industry in this area. Frankfurt actually does have some good production too. Most definitely. These guys can be broken. If we break them, we have the movement free and open, which is great news. It's also another good victory for us. It's a good amount of VP, ideally. So we'll have to consider it as a major option for what we may in fact do. Okay. I'm trying to approach this in the way that we are going to profit maximum. Well, have maximum profit. The vast majority of the German productions now in this area over here. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of it to the east. Like, a hell of a lot of it to the east. You know, I do look forward to the day when we have one of these too. Ignore the pocket, leave a bunch of containment forces and move on. See, we'll take a look at the situation. I'd like to defeat that pocket so that we actually do have that victory points, but also for the fact that it's actually genuinely open. That's what I would like to do. We'll see how it turns out. I would like to... Let's see, what do we have over here? A U-boat factory, that's rather interesting. Half tracks. I mean, it's been a long time since we had reconnaissance over here. Sturmpanzer production, mobile wagon, Hummels. Cologne has a lot of production. See, the issue is we've been trying to defeat the Germans. We are getting there, it's just that we're pushing them back into their own lands where they actually do have that advantage that we really do not simply have. And that is the fact of interior lines. They are a bitch. Don't get me wrong, they're an absolute bitch. It becomes very difficult for us to deal with interior lines as... Yeah. We're moving away from our own supply, we're moving closer to theirs. And I'm not a fan of that. I do love myself a good interior alliance when it's to my benefit, you know? That's what I do like. Finish the pocket off and then it will free those troops to use elsewhere. I mean, it's options for both. I mean, let's take a look at the weather. I think the weather will determine things. Okay, the weather stays frosty. That's really, really good. I mean, we are very close to the end. I don't think we'll achieve a strategic victory. I mean, our victory points are starting to increase, don't get me wrong. But I think we should have been there earlier. So, it's going to happen, guys. I don't think we have the knockout victory. And let's take a look. How many objectives have we captured so far? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only 7, not a huge amount. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So 15 judges. So we have roughly about half. Yeah. So at this stage, breaking through the gates, breaking through gates in more VP, pretty much. We'll see, we'll see. We need to set up our air objectives, really, first of all. So let's take a look at the distribution of the Luftwaffe. Okay, it's still quite high over here in the north. But let's take a look at where they actually are then, shall we? Where we see this. No air battles either. Wow, that's rather impressive. Right. Let's take a look at our logistics. The issue is we've not had the fuel running up here. Well, at least the rail lines running up here. I mean, we are trying, don't get me wrong. It's difficult. And these lines are being repaired, and I can probably bring these online. But it's not great. It really isn't great. I think we need to concentrate our reconnaissance in this area. Actually, what we'll do then is we'll concentrate 9th reconnaissance over here. So just a little bit further to the north. Narrow that down. There's not a huge amount of planes really active. There we go. One hex really. Okay, this area. That's good coverage. Actually, we'll make it larger. Make sure we cover them. Okay, so that's the reconnaissance. We have ground support there. Let's take a look at the RAF. RAF support in the 3rd US Army. Right, support that. Actually, no. Support the British forces. There we go, excellent. Okay. It's a difficult scenario. That's the thing that we have to bear in mind. There's not going to be a perfect way of doing this, as obviously the situation develops. But we'll execute our directives here and see really what we have brought upon us. Right. Let's see. What do we have on the ground then, facing us? We do have some good reconnaissance over here, which is quite nice. Very happy about that. He's going to make a difference, which is really good. Right. Not the brilliant way. Use the forest. Find them, fix them, fight them, finish them. Okay. Let's take a look at fortifications. And you look at that, those are a lot of fortifications. I'm not going to lie, the Germans have really been able to dig in and dig in bloody fast. I wish I could have done something over here. I probably could have done something over here. I just felt like it wasn't quite doable. I don't like the terrain. I could have probably broke them. I was even considering like pulling back across here and holding on to this position, like narrowing down the front. But the thing is that does help the Germans out even more so too. Cologne was almost ours, almost ours, and that would have really shook things up. But the situation is very interesting. Okay, take you off the train. You're still able to move and fight, which is fantastic. But we aren't seeing the same fortifications. Over here they have none. We can make them break. We can break them here. They do potentially have forces behind them, which is a worry. Right. I think we need to choose a point. Let's take a look at our forces here. Now, they actually do have phenomenally good movement now. I'm really, really happy about this. I think we can probably break these forces easy enough. I'm half tempted to use the first army. But again, I reckon these divisions might be able to break them. I reckon we can do that. Right, they hold. Bastards. Always put up a tenacious defense, don't I? Okay, I have far too much armor here to really make the infantry worthwhile, so we will continue this. They're so close to breaking, it really is so close. Okay, but we will leave the first, I would say, to pursue other. Okay. Only 6 here. Actually, we'll go ahead and try with these guys. I do have the 82nd, which I'm going to use as well, actually. '89th and 65th. Right, they're finally broken there. That's what we needed. And they surrender, at last. Okay. That was far more difficult than I would have wanted it to be. Far, far more difficult. But with them broken, at least we'll gain a few extra victory points. And we've also taken out another 34,374 German forces, well, Axis forces. A further 479 guns, a further 66 armoured fighting vehicles. That does make a big difference, I'm not gonna lie. And we've actually managed to take out a few tigers there too. Actual tigers, not king tigers. So that's decent. I'm happy about that. I'm not happy that it took so much, but at least it happened. I mean, we've captured 113,000 Germans. That's well, Axis forces. That is a big number. It's a big number of troops, I'm not gonna lie. I wish it would have been done easier, but nothing worth doing is ever easy. Okay, form that division. Okay, now at least the rest of these forces are now freed up. And most importantly, we can actually move supply through without having to worry about the zone of control. So that's good news. Yes, you can see the difference. Well, you can see that it's actually better movement here. Okay, move you guys here. Please break them. Okay, superb. There we go, we captured the depot. And we won't receive everything at the depot, but well, we actually got practically nothing. Okay. God, I love the music of this game. Right, so we do have the 7th Army over there, so they're redeployed. Okay. it's one of those things that I'm so conscious of the fact that we have a limited slaughter time here. We have a very limited opportunity to bring any sort of victory. The VPs aren't in our favour, I'm not gonna lie. If we'd had a few more turns, we could have achieved all objectives, which is obviously what every commander says. I would like to achieve a victory at Bonn. I think taking Bonn might make something worthwhile. We could potentially take... Right, we might have a shot... We have a shot at taking at least 3 objectives this turn, potentially. At least that's something. So we'll try and make that happen then. I think that's what we're... what we're going to go for. Okay. Rightio. Alright, first US Infantry Division. Have a 63rd instead. These forces should be more than enough. Definitely should be enough to break through. Yes, they do. And thankfully they retreat in the direction I wanted them to as well, which is awesome. Okay. Try and follow up another attack. Okay. It does weaken them though. That's the thing that we have to bear in mind. Okay. $99. They could move up. I'd like to try and keep the 1st US Infantry Division free. I really am trying hard to take Bonn here. God damn them. Okay, pull these divisions out. If I can throw some fresh men in, I will. Or fresher. Where from, I don't know, but we'll try. We take Bonn. Okay. The town of Bonn has surrendered to Allied control. Well, I need to take it, that is. Okay, Bonn is secure. At least that is another objective secured. So I do feel happy about that. Okay, that's one objective taken that we were after. And you look at how much force we had to throw at that. That was a lot of force. That was a hell of a lot of force. I mean, over 100,000 men. Over 100,000 men thrown at one objective, held by shy of 10,000 men. We've hardly any guns. We had 10 times their guns. 10 times. Well, almost 10 times their guns. We certainly had more armor than them. I'll put it that way. But nonetheless, we broke through, so I'm going to count a victory as a victory. Okay, see over here? Okay. At least there's an objective secured. We might have a chance down here at Freiburg. Yeah, 10 to 1 manpower. But this is it. I mean, those odds aren't even that high, really. It's like you need to have an overwhelming amount of manpower and arms, but you know what, it's like 10 to 1 is a good amount, don't get me wrong. I wish I had a higher amount. I wish I had a higher margin. I really do. A higher ratio. This is the issue. I'm going to have to go for Freiburg. I want Freiburg. It's just bloody hard to take. Okay, let's pull back there. Sacrifice in the south for the time being. You cheap sons of bitches. Right. The Cossacks retreat. Is the armor not good enough to attack? Right, we can't attack across there. Just trying to make sure that they don't take any extra land. We are closer to Freiburg, so at least we might have a chance there. So if we have any opportunity, we might as well throw it here. And they hold Offenburg. Okay, at least that cuts their supply line. We might be able to take Landau. I really do hope we can take Landau. Oh, we do as well. Okay, that's really good. Well, we need to secure Landau, actually. Can we even secure Landau? That worries me. Brilliant. We can't actually fully secure it. Okay, we force them to retreat though. And now we can secure land now. Zone of controls, man. Zone of controls. Okay, so that is 2 objectives taken. So we've taken Bonn and Landau. So at least we are making some progress, so that's something. I mean, that is definitely something. It's not like taking Berlin, but it is worth something to me. And I'm happy about that. So, okay. At least we are able to hold our head somewhat high. If I could take this objective to the north, I'd be insanely happy. So we'll try and make that a possibility, yeah. Okay. Move you back. I do have a lot of power here. A lot of it. I just need to make it work for me. Leave Berlin to the Russians. I don't think we have a choice on that one. Right, I do have armor to follow up here. I mean, we can potentially take Mans, but I'd like to take this objective to the north first. Not that armor. These 2 infantry divisions, I'd imagine, would be enough. I really do think they might be enough. Might even use the division over there. What do we have? I could use that British infantry. What do we have here then? We have the 30th. You know what? Throw the 30th in there. I need to make sure I break them. And I do. Fantastic. This opens up another path now. Right. Bloody hell, these forces are powerful. Commandos. Okay, let's throw it all at them here. As much as we can do. Throw a section over here. Okay. Let's make sure we have combat engineers over here then. I don't think they can be involved very well. Yeah, there's a lot of Canadian armoured. Assault engineers. Okay. Churchill AVREs. Those things are awesome. I mean, that is a hell of an armament. A 290mm mortar. That's a hell of an armament. They better fall. And they do. I mean, that was close to what you call overwhelming as you would like to get. 45, 460. Yeah. I mean, it's really been used in a good situation there. Well, urban. Okay. Oh ho ho. Hmm. Interesting. Let's see, we may be able to force them. I doubt it. I really do doubt it. Well, we could break them there. I do want to get through here. I really do. Let's see. Right, it's cause what damage we may. That was close. Getting so very close there. Alright, see what luck we have here. It would be really nice if we could take that. I doubt it though. Yes, and I'm correct. Fall back there, see how that affects them. We may be able to take in the following turn though, so that at least is something. Okay, so really, we might be able to break through here, then try for this objective over there. And I just think Baston is all the way over here. That's Baston. We are very far away from Baston now. But when I say very far, we are quite far away from Baston now. We have pushed them quite far. We have the opportunity to secure Mens. How the heck? I need somebody to tell me how to pronounce that. I need it. I need that help. Oh dear. Let's pull that back. Allow those forces to participate. I think I'll have the airborne try to open up this way to begin with. Yeah, they succeed. Let's look at the amount of numbers there in the air. Of course they bloody go back in. Of course we are minutes. Is that really how it's pronounced? Really? Minutes? Mins? I don't know. We'll see. Okay. We do have the 183rd Volgrenadiers. I can't go for a full attack with them. See if we can force them back. Guess not. Hell of an attempt. Right, we need to break them here. Fall back with the airborne. Okay, we advance here. That allows us to move more infantry into position. Right, these forces here. Oh, you son of a bitch. Okay. It's it's bloody difficult. I don't know, guys. What do you reckon? Do we? I think we have to just commit. I think we just have to commit to this. I don't want to like see myself bogged down, so I think I will draw back the infantry. The reason being so that they're not lost. I mean, they were probably unsupported. Okay. That's not good. Okay, pull back. Okay, I think we just need to simply break them. I think that needs to be done. Fuck my life. They are being so stubborn. Right, finally, there you go. At least that is something. Okay, so we're left off in a pretty interesting situation. We are close to our objective. We are so very close. The difficulty is breaking them. We have secured a good amount of our objectives here, which is it's pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. We do have a few options left to us. We may be able to find forces to throw into here. We still potentially have a turn. The thing is, I do have an option I've thrown the first US Army in afterwards. I still have other US forces, armoured forces I can move in. We still have the British to take a look at the Canadian. The Canadian really have been mightily useful. We have secured a important objective over here, which has been rather difficult for us to take. So it might even be that we're able to make our way to Dusseldorf and Essen in general. I feel like the Germans are going to potentially respond to this. I do feel like that's going to happen. We will have to see. It's just... it's a very difficult situation right now. On top of that, we have our logistical issues. I think the logistics has been the one holding us back now. But the mud did really do a lot to us. It really did. It very much slowed us down to a point at which we have found it exceedingly difficult to move. But we will make it past this. We will. And the thing is, we have annihilated a good majority of the German forces over here. And we take a look at their order of battle. Their numbers are dwindling. Their numbers used to be higher than that, significantly higher than that. You look at their armoured fighter vehicles, significantly down. Significantly. Planes, round about good. Guns going down considerably, but the able-bodied men is just being annihilated. I mean, we grow in strength, they dwindle. I mean, we have a few to come. And we had a tank battalion arrive. We have another 2 infantry divisions to arrive, but I don't think they're really going to be of much particular use to us. But other than that, yes, now you know how the Germans felt on the Ostfront. Rasputia. Rasputia. Definitely. But I'd like to thank you all so very much for watching. We have one final session of War in the West, and we will come to the conclusion of this series. I hope you guys have really enjoyed this, and I really do hope to see more of you in the future. Thank you so very much, and if you are interested in more, you can find my channel on YouTube by just searching XTRG. And do please consider supporting Slytherin and Matrix Games by purchasing your own copy of War in the West today. It is a very much a superb game, and I genuinely enjoy this. I hope you guys will as well. I think you have to find an objective and really try to crack it open. But thank you so very much, and I hope to see more of you all very, very soon. Goodbye for now. Have a great day, evening, night, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Until next time, goodbye for now. I've been XTRG, and you have been you. See you next time.